Grab your lighters. Roll that sticky. Folks, we're talking about something that's sweeping the nation right now. It's becoming legal everywhere we look. There's medicinal properties. There's medical legal. That's right. Even our athletes are starting to talk about it. It's that Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol and cannabidiol. Join us.
Cannabidiol.
Damn it.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles.
Yo.
I'm Dan. Looking like a vampire.
You noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Good insight. Drinking blood, too.
Yeah.
Keeping up appearances. Oof. My man.
Yeah,
The life
so-
sucked out from under him. So this
Weed. Right? Marijuana?
Weed. Oh, geez. I've been researching this the whole time, and I didn't realize that's the same thing as weed.
Oh,
Sticky
jeez.
icky.
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
Ah.
I mean, everybody's talking about it. Right now, it's all about the legalization thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Certain states are making it recreational legal. I focused more on the medical legalization. Whole
Oh.
different thing.
So you want to cover the medical realm as well as maybe some of the ailments that it cures and...
I do and doesn't cure. Ooh, I just cast a large pall over your face and the episode.
Is there anything that I would like to cover?
Is
Why?
there anything you would like to cover?
Let's talk about our experiences with it, maybe the
Whoa.
legalization aspect, and what it's trying to battle, which I think is opioids.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's a good way to go. I
Mhm.
like those directions. We'll start off with what it is. It's, as I pronounced correctly,
Yeah.
it's Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol.
Cannabidiol.
Cannabidol.
Yeah,
No,
that's why they
the
call
other
it CBD or THC. The tetrahydrocarbon.
Well, the tetrahydrocar... I want to pronounce this right. Tetrahydrocannabinol.
That should be the test. If someone pulls you over and you're high, it's like, say this word. You're fine if you can say it.
THC, folks.
Yeah.
That's the one that makes you feel loopy and
It's
lethargic. And
psychoreactive?
Whoa, psychoreactive. Yeah, my man.
So I think
And the other thing extracted from the plant, which you touched on and I pronounced incorrectly, was cannabidiol? Cannabidiol?
CBD.
Cannabidiol? CBD. That's
Yeah.
why we say them in initials, folks. These two things can be extracted from marijuana, and that's the biggies.
So they can
CBD
be
is also taken off.
extracted from marijuana as well as hemp.
Hemp. Oh,
And hemp, I think, is legal nationally. So you're
yeah,
allowed
you can do
to.
anything with hemp.
Yeah, who cares, right? It's
You
why.
can suck hemp off. You can do whatever the hell you want with hemp, dude. You can take it in back and just start going to town on some hemp.
Question is,
But
why
hemp
is
like
hemp
used in
legal?
clothing? Because there's no. I don't think it's like chemically reactive. I think it's like an inert substance. It's like you can use it to make clothes and stuff, can't you?
Hemp was legalized December 2018. The
That's what I
Farm
thought.
Bill,
Oh,
which is why there's a rush. And I think hemp is legal because it
Resurgence.
doesn't produce as much THC.
It does have THC in it, though.
It has a small amount, like 0.3%.
You're kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
But I don't know that you would smoke hemp to get high.
No, I feel like it's used in fabrics and stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the uses.
I don't know. And then hemp oil, which everybody's putting on everything, right? Same with CBD oil. CBD being more potent, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. I bought gummies from Amazon, and
Did you?
it says hemp oil all over it. And then if you read really closely, it says no CBD, no THC. So I guess you can derive oil that is just like an omega-3 or like a fatty acid that makes you
Yeah.
lubricated or something? Like your joints are swimming with
I think
oil?
it's one of those things. It's like omega, like you just mentioned, omega-3 fish oil, where I don't think it's bad for you or good for you. It's just like people swear by it. It's like,
Yeah.
you got to put hemp on it. It's like, oh, okay.
So-
Another big one is CBD oil is like a step up. It has some reactive properties, doesn't it?
So that's the difference between CBD and THC, is that THC has this psychoreactive, psychotropic effect that makes it so that your focus is distracted, and it's a drug. It affects you in a way that can cause you
It's
to
a class 1 drug, folks. Class 1.
Can make
Class
you
1 being with opioids like heroin. Cocaine is a class 1 drug. Mm-hmm.
So what was the definition of a class 1 drug?
I don't know, the most dangerous kind.
No, there's three. There's three definitions. Three
Okay.
comprising
Are these
definitions.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the drug or other substance has a high potential for abuse,
Ooh.
not currently accepted medical treatment in the U.S.,
Ooh.
and is lacks acceptable safety under medical supervision.
Okay.
So it means it's like it hasn't been through trials, it hasn't been proven, and it has an addictive possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Plus THC. It's like the comparison of CBD to that. CBD doesn't have that reactive property.
Right.
So CBD has the benefits, the quote unquote benefits.
Without the psychoactive.
Yeah, without the stuff that's going to mess you up mentally.
Right. So then the step up would be THC. What do we know what it physically does to the brain? They're actually cannabinoid receptors within the body. They're all over, like they're built into us. Like it's not like like your organs, your cells, everything is ready to accept this THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, and it attaches, and I believe it. I have no idea what it does.
I assume
I know what it does to you when it's affected
how
you,
it
but I don't know what it
feels.
does on a microscopic level, right?
I'm
I almost would say it slows everything down. It's like, yo, chill. But that's what it does on a macro scale. On a micro scale, I don't 100,000% know.
So I don't know that this is medically proven in any which way how it affects you. I believe it's classified as an opioid, so that it affects the same kind of pathways, but not in the. You don't think it is?
I don't think it is, because I think it's a like a trippy drug more than an opioid. Because an opioid, it blocks what is it? It keeps serotonin in out.
It's not a blocker. What's the opposite of a blocker? Like an opioid will.
Them in.
Yeah, it will attach to a channel and keep it active. I don't know what the
facilitator.
Opposite of a blocker.
Inhibitor. An inhibitor versus a facilitator.
Enabler? Maybe, I don't know. This is
like
weird that I've never heard of this term before.
What is it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it would come to me readily since I do a podcast.
You would think.
I'm so educated on this.
I do a podcast. Yeah, sir. You know why I pulled you over? I do a podcast. What's interesting is I think big pharma is kind of what keeps
100%. So
THC,
this is one of the things that bothers me is that there are drugs that are mood altering, and there are drugs that are like the heroines and the other things that make it so that
extremely addictive.
Yeah, and they make you so you don't feel the pain at any point. So if you're having surgery or something, or after surgery, it dulls the pain, or you makes it so you don't feel the pain at all. So these things are part of big pharma, which prescribes them overly, even if you don't need them.
Way overly.
And people become more addicted to them than most other things. That's why
because they're physically addictive. I don't think there's any proof that THC is physically addictive. It's more habitual and mental addictive.
So the class 1 drugs that are mixed with marijuana are classified with heroin, LSD, marijuana, mescaline, MDMA, GHB. I don't know what GHB is actually. Gamma hydroburic acid.
Is that some kind of steroid?
Butyric.
Some kind of like hardcore steroid? Or
I'm going to have to click on that one. Ecstasy, psilocybin,
Nice. Good,
synthetic
good CD,
marijuana,
our song.
Quaaludes.
Weed. Have you ever had weed?
I've never. Weed? Fake weed?
Yeah, synthetic marijuana. Weed.
I've never had that before. What is it?
It's fake. It's synthetic marijuana. It's like fake marijuana.
Does it come in like a vial, or do they give you like a fake plant?
I think it was in plant form because you could burn it. Yeah, definitely. And what it is it's like little leaves or something that you burn and breathe in, and it won't show up on a drug test at all because it's not some of the same properties of THC.
Okay, we'll come back to that in 2 seconds.
Okay.
So there's another one, cathinone and bath salts.
Sounds good.
So,
holy shit, weed is up there with all these. It's funny. Even this started back in the 70s, 60s, 80s, somewhere. The war on drugs. Is that Reagan?
GHB is the date rape drug.
Oh, we should have known that.
Yeah, we did know that. I think
we're idiots. I think we did at one point. We must have had something that ruined our memories and predators. Ruined our memories and made us wake up not knowing what happened.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, the war on drugs, is that Reagan's wife?
Yeah.
About it?
Nancy Reagan?
One of the president's wife. Nancy.
So that was like, there was a huge crack addiction in the United States in the 80s, I believe.
It could be.
They said like in the downtown areas, it was like crack was so cheap and so addictive.
Cocaine was the drug.
Cocaine was the rich person's drug, right?
Yeah, but I mean that was way more rampant. I mean, you would just be doing coke in bathrooms back then, right? It would be like, "Hey, we're at the restaurant."
That's what every movie has told me of the 80s.
I'm gonna believe them.
I'm gonna throw on my brightly colored windbreaker and smoke some. Actually, snort some coke. Sorry.
Okay.
It's like I was thinking about marijuana. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So I actually went to a shop that sells oils. It was CBD oils
in your state.
In my state.
Okay.
It was interesting because I don't think it's actually legal, except that it was hemp derived. So I think it's more difficult to get a substantial quantity of CBD and THC in an oil form from hemp. So, but it's the same thing as you would get from marijuana. So it's like, it's a
the benefits
workaround.
If you're right.
Yeah. So the benefits were supposed to be like a cure-all. So it was supposed to help your joints.
Everything, dude. It helps your joints. It helps you sleep.
Relax. Anxiety.
Relax.
Digestion.
Any sore body part, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
Digestion. No offense to anyone who's a proponent of these things. That's literally the answer for like snake oil salesmen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things you really can't prove, like it'll. Not just snake oil, like anything that you take that's like an herbal supplement that's like, oh, this will make you feel
rub it in your
stronger
eyes. It'll make you see again. Don't do that.
This will make you feel a little better every day. And you're like, really? And you're like, just do it, man.
Just do more and more of it.
Do more. And if it's not working, come buy 2 bottles. Okay, man. You got it.
So there was a sample that I did not take because it was CBD and THC combined. But
come on, man. What's going to happen to you?
Someone I know that is very close to me did try it. And it did burn like icy hot. And she said that it felt really good. So it did help. The problem is like, that it's like it gets absorbed through your skin just as much as anything else. And you feel the effects of the THC and the CBD.
Okay.
They did have a tincture. Tincture, something like a drop that you put under your tongue.
Yeah. I was going to say, put under your tongue. I know about that. I know one of my relatives, we'll call them, swears by it and puts a drop under their tongue.
It makes you feel really good. It didn't have THC in it, so I bought it, and I've tried it a couple times. And it does, like, take the edge off of everything. It makes you feel warm.
Now, are you sure, 100% sure it's not placebo effect?
I need to take it more often and with fake drops to prove clinically.
Okay. Because there's a big push right now because everyone's finding out what we're talking about. A lot of these feel-good effects. It's good for your joints. And let's say it is, right? Why not legalize it? Or why not prescribe it? Or why not
I will say
people use it?
It is unmistakable that it does something to you.
Interesting.
You can feel it in your body when it's in there.
Hmm.
And almost immediately too. It's like within like minutes you're like there's something here.
A little buzz.
Yeah, and it did make me relax, and I slept like a baby.
You have 2 children?
Yeah, I slept alongside them. I could compare to an actual baby. Yes.
I was going with anytime you get sleep, do you think you probably sleep like a baby?
No, probably
I'm not trying
not.
to disprove you. I'm just saying. Are you sure?
I took a mid-afternoon nap, and it was like a 2-hour nap, and I woke up and was like, it's like one of those like
naps, dude, are
yeah.
wild.
You could have stabbed me through the heart, and I would have been like, "That's okay. I'm gonna die now. It's fine."
I haven't had an afternoon nap in probably a year.
That's sadness. That is the saddest sadness that you can possibly feel.
Until you just said that. I gotta schedule a nap. Damn. So,
legalization.
But right now, a big thing, legalization.
Proving that it does something? Because there's no clinical medical proof.
Well, that's what I was going to get into. So a lot of NBA players and NFL players who, at this point, are kind of celebrities and like they make so much money. They have a following. They have people who listen to them. They're on a platform. That's why anytime they
Joe
hit a
Rogan?
woman, like
CBD. He
sure,
loves that
him
shit.
too. No, I know. Oh, I know. He's behind all this. Didn't he smoke with Elon Musk? Is that
He
him?
most certainly did.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's hilarious. I can still see the little clip. I didn't see the video of it. I know I saw the clip. No, but what I'm going at is like athletes and like things are so famous now and so rich that they kind of are their own enterprise and businesses, and they're like spokespeople for things now. Well, a lot of NBA and NFL players are pushing for legalization of marijuana for medicinal purposes because it's for pain relief. Like these guys are going hard, going 24/7. They want to be able to relax, have their joints heal, maybe be able to stop chronic pain. Chronic back pain is a constant thing. So I did a little digging.
Yeah.
A lot of scientific research. Minimal to no effect.
Really?
Minimal to no. I didn't say no, but it's like they do double blind tests and then they do negative tests and then double negative, double positive tests because most people are testing to see if you feel better. And if you think you're going to feel better, you tend to feel better. So, and it's hard to test with weed, especially because they don't have a lot of comparatives that make you feel like weed. They've used weed in some of these tests, but weed may have some of the same ingredients as THC, so they want to try and find something that makes you feel that psycho effect, but doesn't have any of the ingredients in it, and see if you still feel better or not. But if you think you were getting weed and you were tricked into it,
tricky.
And really tricked into it, it's really hard because there aren't a lot of comparables.
Yeah. It's interesting though that the legalization for weed in the NBA is actually banned. CBD is not legal. Is not allowed in the NBA, but it is in the NHL.
Is it in the NHL?
Yeah, it says except the NHL.
I did not know that. But yeah, NBA and NFL players are fighting for it because they want to have like pain relief or whatever, or just smoke weed. I'm not blaming them either way. But when they do these tests, they find that 3 out of 10 people claim they feel better, but 3 out of 10 people, of those 3 out of 10, like they do, because this is over like 3,000 people. I read the whole report. It was it's a January 2019, so it's pretty recent. Let me see if I can find it because I saved it. Sciencebasedmedicine.org. Great. But they did studies for each issue. Chronic pain, 39% experienced pain reduction. There was a net negative correlation, I'm using the wrong words, of 30%. Well, those were placebo.
I don't know what that means by what you said.
So they think 30% of those people that thought 39 of the 39% that reported chronic pain relief were full of crap. So they put these things on a scale of 0 to 10 on what its probable effectiveness is for all these things.
Yep.
Chronic pain got a 0.5 definite increase on 1 to 10. So 0.5 they can scientifically say actually felt better on a 1 to 10. Half a point, which is scientifically almost not relevant.
I don't know.
They did a pain from multiple sclerosis, right?
Yep.
0.8% could be verified. Definitely scientifically without irrefutable evidence on a scale of 1 to 10, 0.8.
Weird.
So they went through all of these, and it's greater than 0, but it's not quite even 1 in most of these categories. And they're not saying that it doesn't help, but they're not saying that they can prove it does.
But does it have any harmful effects?
Correct. Well, not harmful to the multiple
Sclerosis.
I'm picking. Thank you. Or like people with hunger issues and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're finding is that it may not actually 100% or even 50% help these people. But what they also are saying is that it isn't hurting them. And if it is a placebo effect, maybe that's not bad either.
Yeah. Well, the
But
opioid...
we need to do more research. And do you know why we can't do more research?
Why can't we?
Because it's a class 1 drug.
You're not allowed to
Most of
test.
these labs and stuff aren't allowed to test with it. Because they have to get special permits that cost way more money. They have to pay through the nose just to get the item in to test with it. And then there's all these weird permissions to be able to test on individuals, especially a blind test. You can't blind test a class 1 drug on someone.
Huh.
Think about it. Why would you be able to? Wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
you get them addicted.
Exactly. So this whole thing stems from the stigma of it being a class 1 super addictive, super powerful, super nasty drug that I don't believe anyone's ever overdosed on, correct?
Can you overdose on CBD?
Or THC? Go right to the higher drug one. Either or. I think you'd have to smoke your body weight, right?
I'm
just curious. I read somewhere you'd have to smoke your body weight to die of overdose.
Let's see.
Which is interesting because you'd have to take 4 Percocets in 5 minutes to die. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to give you opioid stats.
Oh.
So the opioid epidemic as of 2017, it said that about 47,000 people died from overdosing on opioids. I think this is in the United States. Yeah. In 2016. In 1 year.
That's bad. I actually thought it might be worse.
Well,
it's bad.
It's bad.
I thought it might be worse. I really thought it was gonna be like in the 200,000 people died.
Well, how many people actually? There's like about 2 million people that have a disorder using opioids, and there's about 1 million people using heroin.
Right,
so
which is wild.
There's about 130 people that die every day from the drug. And there's only
Is it that many?
12 million that actually have this available to them as a prescription or are users of it. So
right.
Considering there's 300 million people.
The ones who have the prescription probably aren't dying from it.
I don't know, because 2 million people misuse the prescription.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that there's I would say it's a considerable number, considering you're not you're thinking about the entire U.S., but probably 11%? It's like 95% of the United States is not using prescribed medications.
Well, prescribed medications.
Yeah, to clarify. So there's, I don't know, something happened. Something bad happened. I don't know what's happening here.
Something bad happened, folks.
Hold on.
What we're getting at is that even through all our research, we all knew it going into it, but marijuana isn't as powerful as we would like to think, but also as we would not like to think. Like, it isn't a class 1 drug. Let's be honest.
So CBD oil has no known report of fatal overdose.
Damn, how about THC?
Let's research that too.
You got the quicker keyboard. You're the man with the fingertips. This guy's got magic fingertips, everyone at home. You can come over to your house and give you a little ropey dope. Drum roll. I'm nervous. I'm feeling like 5 people. And I'm guessing there's a ton of THC-related deaths.
I love this. The CDC gives the most neutral response.
Oh, dude, CDC's awesome.
A fatal overdose is unlikely, but the effects of THC may cause you to have a reaction, which then leads to unintentional injury as motor vehicle crash, fall, or poisoning.
I was saying that as he was clicking it, folks.
Yeah.
Check here.
So I don't think that it's possible to actually die from THC.
Isn't that interesting?
Why is it banned, other than the fact
Class 1.
It has to be used in conjunction with something else to cause it to be fatal?
Now, I
motor
didn't
vehicle.
get into this research. Is this because more African Americans use marijuana?
Are you saying this is like
Yeah, a
like
racist thing.
it could be? It was like
I think
cocaine when it was being
that.
used by popular people. It was like all the rage, and then once those people
course.
died from cocaine, it's like let's ban the stuff.
Sure.
I mean, I think it was banned all along, but it was like
It probably was, but it became a reality. Let's crack down on these drugs eventually.
the realism that we need to do something about it.
Sure. Marijuana, on the other hand, didn't have a lot of deaths.
No, plus it's been used for literally centuries. Like I guarantee, like the burning bush.
Native Americans, right?
Yeah, the burning bush was
the burning
probably
bush
a
where Moses saw
marijuana.
some snakes.
Yeah.
He probably was. Probably like,
Why else would you
"Whoa,
write about a burning bush?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Some snakes are turning into a staff, bro.
Whoa.
Moses, knock it off.
And especially if you wanted to, like, if you wanted to do that to a crowd of people, like hotbox the entire crowd, just like burn some bushes and then like let it waft over them.
That would be wild.
That would be
especially if you had a band in medieval times that were playing like the lute and the lyre, and you set some bush off near them and then started playing and got like, the whole audience into it. That would be wild.
Everyone would be into it. So you want to talk about how many states? There's medical marijuana in 33 states, I believe, including Washington, D.C. And then recreational marijuana.
Wait, you said 33 states?
Yeah, for medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Recreational is 10.
Down. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have a list? So California is probably the most notable one. I think Nevada has had it the longest. Maybe.
I think it was alphabetical. Oh, shit. This is literally when I started looking for the USB.
Oh, yeah?
Alaska
Arizona? Had it first. No, it was California had it first, 1996.
And then Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, which seems weird. Yeah. Delaware, I can see that. Yeah. DC. Isn't Jersey yet? Oh, I didn't get that far. Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Louisiana? Medical marijuana? God bless them. Maine, Maryland and Massachusetts. That's wild. Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, and then I stopped
Montana,
writing them down because
Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, 2016, Rhode Island.
I was just going to say, we're getting there, right?
Utah, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia. So that's a considerable number. I think the key is that the recreational use. So the one thing that would bother me if it was recreationally legal to smoke marijuana in public places, which I don't know what the definition is of recreational marijuana. I need to look that up. But if it were legal to smoke and to influence other people who are not party to what you're doing, that should be illegal. Like, I don't want to be forced to smoke marijuana with somebody else who's doing it around me. I think the recreational use has to do with the amount that you can carry with you and without prescription.
Correct. It's there's a weight amount.
Yeah, and it varies from state to state, like how many you can grow, how much you can have.
Well, it also makes sense if you compare it to alcohol. Is its best comparison.
Yeah.
It's actually a good comparison. It's terrible in that you can overdose on alcohol pretty quickly. You can't overdose on marijuana at all. But both lead to impaired driving. Both are fairly mentally addictive. Both lead to some sort of impairment or another. And both lead to sitting on the couch watching cartoons. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
and eating food that you wouldn't normally otherwise eat.
Munchies, 100% real.
Yeah. 100%.
Recreational cannabis, 21 years or older, and it is illegal to consume, smoke, eat, or vape in public. Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
It's also illegal to drink in public. So again, another drinking comparison.
Yes.
And then there's also drinking. The amount of beers you can buy in a store or liquor you can buy is prohibited, as it should be probably with marijuana. I don't disagree with those rules. You can literally go back into the store and buy it again, but whatever.
Yeah, if it's sold in a vial, I don't know how much that will mess you up. If you were to take THC in an oil form,
you have that. It's just a higher percentage. So now, where I used to work, I won't name names, but they used to smoke at work out of vape pens. but they would buy oil to go into the vape pen.
Yep.
And they would always talk about the percentage THC, where they got it from, and
They would go for the highest THC.
Of course.
Yeah.
Unless there was like cool indica, or what's the other one? 2 strains.
Satvia.
Sativa, whatever.
I forget what it's called.
You can tell we're big weed.
Yeah, we're huge into it.
We're big weedos, folks.
So there's like 2 strains, essentially. 2 major strains. I think there's a 3rd strain, but it's like up and coming.
Hybrid? I think it's a mix of the 2 or something.
Yeah. So you're relating into like if you're growing the stuff or you're deriving oils from the stuff, it matters what you're trying to grow, what strain, and then how much you can derive from that.
I may or may not know someone who grows acres of it and has for the past 15 years.
Ooh.
And sells, formerly illegally, now legally, to government contracts.
Nice.
To states that will sell it.
So, that's one of the curious things, is that if you have states that are side by side, that both have legal use of marijuana, you can't grow marijuana in one state and transport it to the other state. Because, technically, between states there's a federal border. There's federal land between each one. Since it's not nationally legalized, it's illegal to carry it on that one little strip of land across state borders.
So, did you know a store that sells strictly marijuana in a marijuana recreational legal state can make as much money as they can? The FDIC of the banks,
yeah,
can't take their money.
What
they
does
won't insure it?
What is that? Wait, say that again.
FDIC.
Yeah, federally
Banks.
deposit insurance.
Up to whatever the number is, 100,000. Is that our?
It depends on. There's like NUCA or like I think it's 100, 150 to 250, depending on $1,000.
Okay. Either way. Anyway,
they won't.
The banks will not support these businesses.
So they don't ensure that their money is safe. That's what the banking laws are talking about now.
Correct.
So they're saying if their income is derived from marijuana sales in any form,
strictly marijuana sales,
it invalidates the amount that they earn.
Let's just say strictly, because you get into weird muddy waters if it's some and some not. Let's just say a company just sells it and they're like, yeah, that's what we sell. They can't bring it to the bank.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know that a bank won't take it, hold it, use it, and whatever, and it's just not insured, or a bank will straight up refuse it. I haven't heard the actual details, which is wild. It might vary bank to bank, might vary branch to branch. Why would a bank say no to money? What I will say that we skipped over, I did some research here. African American is 3.73 times more likely to be arrested than a white person for the same amount of marijuana use. In America, 52% of all drug arrests that tie up our courts and jails are for marijuana. 52%.
That's an insane amount.
That's over half. And that's for, like, essentially drinking a beer a little bit.
That and, like, the sentences, like the ridiculous sentences that are handed out for other crimes that are much worse than drug use for marijuana. The marijuana drugs they're being sentenced to, like, years just because they are carrying it.
Right. Not even. It's one thing if you're smuggling it into the country from Mexico and trying to sell $1 billion worth. Like, that's probably a crime. I'm not going to disagree with that. You're carrying around a joint, and you get pat down, and someone finds it. Let's see. Oh, last one. Wasted time and money. Marijuana enforcement between jailing, court sentences, everything else. $3.6 billion a year to fight it. To keep it off our streets.
Wow.
To put those sinners in jail. Probably not the best use of $3.6 billion.
Yeah. It is good to see that when a state legalizes their marijuana for, I think, recreational use or medical use, that they absolve the people that are in jail. They just say you're free now. And then they'll scrub that record and say you were never convicted of anything.
Is that in every state?
I think they have to pass legislation that's like a follow-up.
Right, they pass laws. Okay.
But it's good to see. This is like if you were...
They should.
Yeah. Retroactive absolution.
Right. Correct.
Absolution. Oof.
Absolution.
So
Absolute.
did you get a figure on the
absolution.
absolution? Did you get a
No,
figure
which
on the number of sales, the billions of
No,
dollars?
I'm digging ice out of a cup to put in my glass.
Oh, great. So the numbers that I've seen are like 5 to 15 billion.
So much more tan than you.
I don't know why. I was outside for like a straight weekend. I don't know why I'm
my
so
God.
pale.
This guy was outside for 1 weekend. Holy Jesus. Anyway, go ahead. What's the numbers on what?
It was at night, but it's okay. So like the numbers I see
He's
are
not
like
joking, folks.
6 billion, but I've heard like 10 billion.
Wait, the number of what?
Legal recreational medical cannabis sold in 2017.
Oh, wow.
I think in
Now
2000
that's recreational or medical? Or both?
that combines them,
Oh, okay, combined.
which
Okay.
is on par for the amount spent for Netflix.
Well, it's Netflix and literally chill. Folks.
Yeah.
That's a good chill right there. I like that.
So the projections are actually insane. And
Well, and that's only in how many? Do we know how many states are recreational marijuana compliant? I know we just went 33 states medical.
10 are recreationally
Is it
compliant.
10?
Yeah.
Do you have them? Because I really am curious. Because I know it was Alaska. I know it was California. I know it was like Colorado.
I
Those are
think
the only three
Nevada. I think Florida. I can't find the map. Can't find the map.
Relax. Take your time. Take your time here. You need a chill pill. I know what you need.
It was one of the first things I searched for.
Back.
Oh, I must have X'd it out. Yeah. Washington, Oregon, California, Alaska,
Yeah, that makes
Nevada, Colorado, Michigan,
sense. Nevada,
Maine,
Michigan?
Vermont,
Maine and
Massachusetts.
Vermont? What the hell's
Not
going on
Florida.
in white states?
not Florida.
Wait, Maine and Vermont have recreational
Mhm.
marijuana.
hmm
Really? That's weird.
And DC has recreational too.
DC does as well?
Yeah. It's
That's
politicians. So, scaling it up, so the 2016 number is like 6 billion. 2017 is like 8 billion, and 2018 is like 10 billion. They're projecting it out to be like a growing industry by about 30%, almost every year, kind of maybe 20% if you're
Tapering
going to
off a
scale it
little.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to grow to be like a $25 billion industry, they think. So it's still got
Well,
like
a lot of companies
2x.
are buying domains. They're buying the rights to gummies. The individual I mentioned, he's in rights to a company that does strictly edibles. They're called like Edible Ed. I forget the name of the company. I'm not going to drop them anyway. But like they're using his not homegrown because it's like it's a mass production. but
Yeah.
They're using this stuff to make their edibles, and they're using like it's broken down where even the guys from the work I used to be at would bring in their stuff, and it would be like, this is 80% Satvia, 20% indica.
And they're like, oh,
And they'd be like,
I've never tried that before.
whoa, bro, it's called blueberry bust. That's the other thing. We didn't even talk about the names for these drugs, which is the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
You got some names?
Well, let's talk about edibles really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Edible brownies is the form that I've had. I know.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you?
Is the form that I have had.
Did you accidentally make them with the wrong amount?
I let somebody else who is a seasoned veteran make the oils, and then
no.
I don't know if they gave us the
fat-soluble
oil.
substance. Let's go with that. Because so marijuana is usually a leaf. You smoke it. From what I've heard,
I don't know how they distill
because
it.
it's
I don't
fat
remember.
Soluble. So it's fat soluble.
Yeah.
You have to actually bake it into something that has fat also.
Butter
Whether
and
that's
oil, vegetable
butter
oil.
is the number one. Oil, butters, you have to cook it into those things. So the THC is activated and infused into the fat soluble substance. That substance is then placed into the food, i.e., anything that uses butter, anything that uses oil, anything that uses whatever's fat soluble. Anything you're mixing right in there, folks. And you cook it in.
And it's
You're
dangerous.
supposed to use a certain part per million. Or
Yeah.
per whatever.
It's dangerous because you don't realize how delayed the reaction is and how much you're eating.
You smoke any drug, it's usually in your bloodstream right away, within like 3 to 5 minutes. It's probably less than that because it goes into your lungs. Your lungs direct flow with the blood. I mean, your blood takes it away, and all of a sudden it's through your body.
Yeah.
When you eat something, it can sit on top of food you already ate, drinks you already had, and it's just chilling in there. It's just chilling. You're having a good time.
Yeah.
You're dancing, you're singing, you're having a good time.
You're thinking you need more.
15 minutes later, You're thinking you need more. Nothing's happening. 15 minutes later, your body finally gets to, fine, I'm here to digest it. Whoa. But you've already had more. In which case, your body's like, whoa. In which case, you might be running your Mario Kart character into the wall.
Yes.
For 5 minutes straight. just.
Do you remember Spider-Man? There's a Spider-Man running around. No? Okay.
Anyway, you could be at a social event, a party at a house.
You will not realize anybody else is there.
Oh man, just playing Mario Kart for way too long, driving into a wall over and over and over.
It's great, but a lot, and then it lasts for far too long. It lasted at least a day.
Oh, at least a day. When you do way too much edibles?
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing with this substance. Because it's fat soluble, it goes in your bloodstream. It does its thing. It acts on you psychologically,
reactive,
whatever the word, reactively. And then the residuals, it stays in your system.
It can actually be absorbed into your own fat cells. Yeah.
It is.
I used to.
Is. And that's why.
One of my girlfriends, I used to say her mom did a lot of weed when she was in college, like back way when.
Fat, and when she sweated, you could smell her.
Okay. I used to say she's getting high right now. Like I would say, like your mom is getting high right now because she's burning some fat, and she'd be like, she'd be so pleasant and happy. I'd be like, it's because she's high.
Not possible.
Really?
Body will eventually metabolize it. Yeah, because it just doesn't stay around forever. It's not like an acid trip where it can store dormant in your cells for however long.
An acid trip can?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If you do acid, it can stay dormant in different parts of your, like if it gets caught in, I don't know where it gets caught because I don't know the thing, but you can have an acid flashback, it's called. And this can happen years later.
Oh, that's frightening.
Yeah, well, that's what True Detective Season 1, that's an acid flashback Woody Harrelson has when he's driving. I believe it's Woody Harrelson, right? It's not the other one.
That sounds about right.
No, it's Matthew McConaughey. No, it's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, it's McConaughey.
It says it is a real thing, but it's rare.
Okay, it's rare. I mean, I assume.
Ooh, hiding in the fat or in the spine?
Interesting. Oh, that one's probably a spine hider. Come on. You crack your spine the wrong way and boom.
And you're just like,
flashback. Oh, you're just driving your kids to school. Everyone's screaming. They're hitting each other with teddy bears and things. And you're just turning around and seeing the weirdest things in the world. And they're still screaming, hitting each other with teddy bears. But that's not what you see. And you're driving a motor vehicle 60 miles an hour down a highway. And you keep hearing the children laugh. And they're hitting each other with something. But you don't know what's going on. So you just keep driving. And you're seeing snakes everywhere. And you're like, gotta make it to school. Just get to school. And they're still screaming, and like you're looking back for like a full 20 seconds while you're driving, and they're like, "Look at the road," and you're like, "Huh?" Anyway, just imagining a great scenario. Don't do acid.
Great edible names. Do you have a list of great edibles?
No.
Pineapple Delight Bites, Toast Crunch.
Oh, that's cool.
Mango, Maui, Wowie, Fruit Leather. These are real names.
Do you have a list of actual marijuana strains, famous names? Because that would be more interesting. Because I think we all recognize those, like Sour Diesel and like Purple Haze.
Pineapple Express,
number one. Pineapple Express, like all these things. Naming these things is so badass.
Let me see. Ooh, there's a lot of.
Boy, of course, but like,
there's thousands of them.
Oh my god! I meant famous. Is there a way you can power it down to like the famous list?
I don't know that I can. Hindu Kush.
20 names. Hindu Kush?
Yeah. I remember.
That's pretty cool.
Let me see.
See, you're perusing the list.
I am perusing the list. I'm trying to get like the top ones.
Marijuana strand list or something.
Yes.
Top. Yeah, there we go. Now that's what I'm talking
about. It asked me if I was over 21. I said no initially. I was like, shit. It's going to ban me forever.
They got me. They're going to get me.
Oh yeah.
I like
so okay.
Be like, yes, I know.
I'm gonna try to skim over this list of like 100.
Yeah, the famous ones.
9-pound hammer. I've never heard about, but
no, I never heard that.
Bubble Kush, cool. Blueberry, Berry White.
Oh, Berry White. That's awesome. No, I never heard that. That's
Granddaddy cool. Purple, Hindu Kush is on there.
I've heard that. Okay.
Yeah. Northern Lights, Obama Kush.
Yeah, I know what Northern Lights is. I
Yeah.
know what Northern Lights is. What was the other one?
Obama Kush, apparently.
Obama Kush? They made, oh man, right after number 51. What does it mean?
Purple Urkel.
That's cool.
And
See,
apparently
these names are good.
Skittles with Z's. Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh, no, that sounds interesting.
I've heard of Banana
Sounds
OG.
That sounds cool.
Chemdog or Chernobyl. Someone named it Chernobyl.
I just started watching Chernobyl. It's a little darker now.
There's the Pineapple Express. You see Snoop's Dream. Snoop.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. Tangerine Dream. Heard before.
Ah, is that what that's?
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. That's a bit harsh.
Acapulco Gold.
That's cool. I think I've heard that.
Alaskan Thunderfuck.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me see. Ghost Train Haze. Green Crack. Panama Red. I think everyone's heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Purple Haze, obviously.
Purple Haze.
And
Purple Haze up in my brain.
Yeah. And I think that covers a lot of them. Maui Wowie.
Maui Wowie. There you go.
Yeah.
The do you think we could figure out the levels of marijuana on their street name? So there's swag. I think swag's the worst, or dirt. I think dirt is the worst you can buy.
Dirt? Like dirt, yeah. dirt weed?
Type in dirt, yeah. Swag, Mondo, Kush, and like you got to break down the levels. That'd be great.
So that is one thing that one of my parents said, is that the potency of THC today is absurd compared to what it was back then.
Up so much.
I want to see if there's an actual number.
Yeah, you check it out while I look up whatchamacall. I'm going to give everyone the breakdown of the names. Levels weed.
I hate when stories don't bulletize things to feed it to me directly.
I know.
Dank weed.
Dank. That's awesome.
It's weird because I'm actually been investing in these different companies.
Have you been?
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be.
Which one, edibles or like what? I think it would.
It's a variety. I like oils actually. I think oils make more sense than anything. Combination of vaping and oils. Also, I think it will take some of, like, in a recession, people drink a lot more alcohol, more beer. I think it's going to take some of that when we hit a recession. It's going to be like recession proof.
Wow. Okay. THC can be as low as 10% in your weed. That's like dirt and swag.
Yep.
It can go as high as 60%, but I feel like that's not in a plant, dude. There's no way. I think 30 is the highest you can get in a physical plant. I'm making this up based on nothing, but just I'm trying to remember. Mid-grade weed. So what the kids in our high school used to buy was KB. Kind Bud. Yeah, that's what it was called.
I wish I was educated on this so I could make good financial decisions.
Be more educated. Well, you don't have to because it's a different world. OG Kush strain.
They did say from 95 to 2015, the THC rose from 4% to 12%. So it's 3 times more THC.
A little better, yeah.
It's a ridiculous amount, and that's only 2015.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's
now we've probably
capitalism is gonna absolutely murder it.
Royal Gorilla, Fat Banana, Purple Queen, Amnesia Haze. Oh, dude, Royal Cookies Automatica. Some of these are wild. Blue Cheese Automatica. I think I actually know what that is. Dance World. So what we're getting at is there's also a nostalgia element we're getting into right now.
It's very unique.
We're not going to get too personal about us personally, but we went to a high school with a lot of white dudes who had money. Would you say?
Yeah.
So white dudes with money, when they're bored in high school, guess what they do?
Waste money on drugs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. The most famous story I can remember is that there was a kid in our school, dumbass, who is a known pothead. That's no big deal. He literally between third and fourth period, he went outside, right, lit up and smoked right outside of a door, right?
Yeah.
Well, this door was directly below a vent that led to the
The
Dean of
intake.
Discipline's office.
Yeah.
It went right into his office. And he smelled it, came out, found them with weed, and suspended. No, he expelled them.
He
And he was
expelled them.
gone.
I never saw him after that. There's two
Never saw
guys.
him after that. Yeah, I think this is going to sound weird. I think the other guy remained in school somehow because maybe he didn't have the weed in his hand.
He was smart enough to ditch it.
No, he was not smart enough anything because within 6 months he was suspended for weed anyway. I think he did it again. This individual who may or may not have taken French. Running my mouth.
I can't give me a
BVB. No, BVM. Running my mouth.
DVDA. No.
No.
It's a different acronym.
Christ, no. That's a totally different acronym. Anyway, what we're getting at is like.
I think I do.
Yeah, I think you do. He wore a hemp necklace, like seashells or whatever. Necklace. I think he did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he probably had dreadlocks too. I think he had dreadlocks. Like dude with dreadlocks. Anyway, like weed's funny because it's
innocuous.
Cultural. It is, and it's also a thing with an age group. Like you start to get into it early. Is that a thing? I don't know.
It's always like it's the gateway drug.
Well, the reason it's the gateway is because it's not like, why would heroin be the gateway drug?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Yo, I got something for you.
I'm going to overdose right away.
Knock you unconscious for 28 hours and you won't be able to move. Cool, man. Yeah. I'm 14. Let's do it. Like, it wouldn't be a gateway drug.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, causality, heroin can't be a gateway drug. That's the stupidest sentence ever.
Yeah.
Marijuana might be a gateway drug because it's easy to do and it's fairly recreational.
It's widespread.
So it right. It's widespread. What I think happens is late grade school, high school is when your friends start getting into it, or people you know start getting into it, or someone gets into it, and then it kind of spreads a little bit because it's like a cool thing to do. You can get away with it if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you did heroin, with your friends in a car at like 8:30 when you can finally drive.
That just doesn't sound cool.
Your parents might, forget that, the logistics of it. All right, I got to be home by 9:30. What are you going to do? Walk into your parents' house with the needle in your arm and talk to them for a few minutes? That's probably not going to happen. You're probably unconscious somewhere drooling. Like, do you know what I mean? For a day.
I've never done heroin, but I know people who have. I don't really understand the effects of it. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can explain, like, how debilitating is it?
I feel like it makes you high as shit, and then you need to, like, I think you're out of it for a while, like a long while, like 12 hours. You couldn't do that as a 16-year-old sneaking into home late at night, trying to sneak past your parents. You'd be dead on the front lawn. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, weed offers this thing where you can kind of pass it off. I'm not high. I'm not this. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't even get into what high is.
What is high?
I've, while high, or simulating high in my brain, I figured out what high was a few times. It was being physically, like your mind has an eye where you can see everything that's going on. Like, the id inside yourself that literally is like the monitor of everything. Like, you see what you're doing with your
hand. Don't you have a tattoo associated with this?
No.
I thought the Led Zeppelin, the triangle with the circle, was the mind's eye.
No, it's just for the drummer and the bass player. One of which was Ballantine beer, and one of which was a Celtic symbol for family.
Okay.
Third eye is what you're thinking of, which will be
Tool.
a cool tattoo. Yeah, Tool. Anyway, there's this part of your brain that kind of watches over everything. It observes everything. It's like the control tower.
Yeah.
What happens is it operates at the same speed, but everything else is slowed down. If that makes sense.
No, but that's okay.
So your ability to see things in real time slows down. Your ability to hear things in real time slows down. Your ability to experience time slows down. But the part inside of you that's you is the same speed.
I think
so. You're looking at everything, and everything looks slow because you're able to move at regular speed and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. And then you hear music or something, like you hear an auditory response and you can hear it louder. You can focus on it more because it's slowed down. You're like,
You're more engaged in whatever you're doing.
Because no matter what you look at, it's kind of cool. You're like, damn, dude, I can really focus on this. But you're focusing on so many things in like slow time that you're like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoa, your fingers. Yeah, man.
So I'll talk about like mushrooms really quick.
Ooh, interesting.
For someone who had done shrooms before, a person I know very dearly, they described it as like, if you're looking at like a textbook, like a biology book, it's like the images that you see are like real things. Like you feel those images. Like if you were to read that page, like not on shrooms, like it would just be a thing you're reading. But on shrooms, it's like in front of you in 3D and you're watching it move, even though it's just an image. Like you understand more about it.
That's an interesting way to put it. And I don't disagree. I don't know that I can prove what you're saying, but I don't disagree.
I think marijuana is a similar thing. Maybe not as intense. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe the gateway is more like the like our ancestors had like a gateway to like see other things. Like a lot of people say it's like a gateway to like another plane or something. I don't necessarily believe that, but it's a different perception.
Does alter perception.
We talk about Canadian legalization.
Sure, I think they just did last year.
Yeah, so they did it last year, and they're. I don't know if I'm going to talk about the specific companies. Like I know a lot about the companies because I've been investing in stock.
In Canadian stock.
Canadian stock.
Oh,
heritage, man. So, yeah, there's like let's see, Aurora Cannabis, Afria, CGC, which is Canopy Growth Corporation, and like all of these companies, even though I don't think they're located in a prime tropical zone for growing weed, they're all like
they're not.
And they're not.
Most of the ones in Canada are not.
But it was the first one to actually, like, entire nation to legalize it. So they have an advantage of being the first one with a foot in the door and like generating income to gain more money and like expand. So a lot of these places are making it so that they have their own like grow houses and like deriving services, and they're making their own products. So like the products are getting like more and more in depth, and then they're starting to buy up places that are being legalized, like Floridian dispensaries. They're starting to buy those up. Places that are growing weed, they're buying those up. So they're spreading slowly into the U.S. And the U.S., while legalizing it, they also have their own. They're called MSOs, or multi-state operators. They're trying to like have a vertical integration, which means you're growing it and you're also selling it, and then you're deriving different forms of it.
You're doing all tiers.
Yeah.
You're not just growing it. You're not just this. You're selling it. You're deriving things. You're selling it in derivatives. You're doing edibles. You're doing everything. Sure.
And you have to get licenses to do all this in all the different stages. So like all the states are controlling how much is being produced and how much is being grown and sold and all that stuff, which is good. But it's becoming like, it's going to be a battle. So I like, in my personal view, it's going to be a huge business, and it's going to get legalized nationally once we realize that the Canadians...
It has to, because the money is going to be going outside of states.
Yes.
So we talked about 33 states have it. Well, the 5 states that don't are going to lose money like dumbasses.
Yeah, since it's going to be like $20 billion a year, if you're taxing that at like, what's the state tax? Like 5 to 10%? Probably 10%-ish.
Sure.
Yeah, you're going to be losing out on like $50 million or something like that.
Damn. For free.
Yeah.
Now, here's the real question. If every state legalizes it, does the federal government at that point have to?
I don't think so.
That's wild.
I don't think so. It's weird because...
Can you mail THC?
No, you can't cross state lines.
Oh my god.
You can't buy it on Amazon. So that's the one thing, is when I bought those hemp oil gummies, I don't think it was legally available to be bought on Amazon because it'd be across state lines in most cases.
That's
and
hemp,
Texas,
you said.
Yeah. Well, hemp derived CBD is nationally acceptable.
But that's what I mean, because if it was derived from THC, you wouldn't have been able to buy it.
But I don't know if there's legal implications that Amazon would have to monitor, and they don't want to.
No, they don't want to do any work.
They just want to swim in money.
Hmm.
So that's
What
my
about weed delivery.
They do have like mail weed, like you can mail it in state. They have I think they talk about like the margins on that. The amount of money you can make off that is lower, so it's not as advantageous, and you're not creating a brand. Like a lot of the ones that I invest in, when you look at their product, it doesn't look hokey. So like the store that I went to, the person selling it to me was like a lady that was like 60 years old and was like, "Oh, this is going to be great for this and that," and I was just like, "You're ruining like my expectations," because some of the product that I've seen, it looks like it's like a medicinal product. Like if you were going to like a grocery store and it'd be on the shelf, you would be like, "This is," and it's obvious what it is. But you're not
well done, professional. Yeah,
you're not allowed to state that it heals you in any way. You're not allowed to say this is marijuana. But like the way they package it, it's like a very like sophisticated artistic leaf. And then it's like, "Oh, I know what this is." Like you inherently understand what it is.
I follow you. I know what's going on.
But they could definitely put that in. I think they already have it in CVS's. So like you would see that on the shelf, you buy it. Awesome.
It's interesting. We're talking about something that by the time this podcast comes out could be legal everywhere.
Yes. It's going to be 9 months from now.
And 12 months. Anyway, another interesting thing is like 10 years ago, to buy marijuana, you might have to go into an alleyway and meet a guy your friend knows to buy it, and you don't see it till it shows up.
Yeah, drop your money here. You're going to pick a bag up there.
No, there's no dropping money. I mean, you have your money in your hand usually.
Oh, yeah, you shake their hand.
I've bought way more drugs than Dan.
Huh.
Or been involved. And you always meet the person because you're not going to drop money somewhere and pick it up somewhere else. You need to see that person. You need to see their drugs. You always have to have someone on your team that is a drug professional. Hey, we came here to pick up.
They measure, they weigh, they inspect.
Well, like they're like, we're 60 pounds for a quarter. All right, cool. Now this is KB, and the person says, yeah, man, it's KB. This is all good stuff. And then your guy has to check it out, open it, feel it, and smell it. Man, this is dirt, dude. This is dirt. You sure you're selling this for 60? This should be $40 on the street. Oh man, this is
negotiation.
This is KB. This is a good one. Yeah. And you're dealing with someone who's not in the law. Like you're an outlaw. You're literally buying something illegally. There's no anything. There's no buyer beware, or there is buyer beware. If you buy oregano, like this happens to a lot of like white nerdy whatever that buy it. They're like, yeah, here's my $80, sir. And he's like, here's your oregano. I mean, weed. Here you go, kids. It's going to be, and even when you got it, I don't know what percentages. There's no way to test it. Like you could be getting 10% THC from this item and smoking it and coughing and smoking. By the way, do you know what you can smoke weed out of? Literally anything.
Yes.
You could smoke weed out of a honey bear, like the bear that gives you honey. You pour honey out of a bear. Smoked weed out of one.
Oh, yeah.
You can smoke weed out of an apple.
A candy cane.
Apple. A candy cane.
Christmas candy cane. Like the ones that you put
cane?
lights inside.
Oh, okay.
Much larger than. I wish you could hollow out the inside of a candy cane.
You can smoke weed out of a goldfish.
An apple,
designed by professionals. You can smoke weed out of tinfoil, just shaped like a bowl. You can smoke weed out of anything.
A bubbler. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another
Gravity
name for
bomb.
it. I forget. Gravity bomb.
Gravity bomb. That's you. Anyway, you can smoke weed out of all these things. It's like people find a way to do it. We're moving to a time where you can order your weed, percentage THC, percentage sativa versus indica. I'm going to say the words
indica
because I don't give it. Sure. You can get it delivered to your house it's 100% proof, whatever percentages you wanted.
Yep.
And then you could smoke it out of the most advanced bubbler or vaporizer you have. And it's wild to me that it's going to be so pure and so easy to get and so much better than anything people got 20, 30 years ago that it's going to maybe, I don't want to say lead to problems, but it's different.
So what is going to happen to like the illegality of it? The people that are doing it, slinging it on the streets, are they going to become professionals at this point? I know some of them are. Some of them are just like spinning it into an actual company. Other ones are probably just getting forced out. If anything, it's saving the government money because then they can tax that transaction.
And also, half the people are quitting.
They can,
the illegal act.
And they can monitor it and make sure that you're getting a product that is not tainted.
The only people that will still do it are people who are getting it way under market value and then selling it at way under the retail cost, tax-free. Right.
Yeah.
But will that even be a thing? I don't know. I mean, is the government taxing it so much that you're cheaper to buy it from a guy on the street? I have no idea.
I don't know. That's what all these companies are doing. They're mass producing it in a way that's done automated. It's automated and it should be cheaper. They're going to make it so that it's produced at such a low price that it forces out all those people that are growing it themselves, picking it by hand, packaging it by hand. Like it's going to be a revolution.
It's going to be the exact same thing as the craft beer revolution.
Yeah.
Like you could have a shitty weed production company that really is skimming off the top, making it so cheap, but it's so low THC, but it's also so kind of crappy, but also so easy to get. You're going to have companies that come in and they're like, we're hand drawn our marijuana. We cut this. This bud is called this. We mix it with blueberry mango, and you're going to go bazongas. Like it's going to be literally like the craft beer club. People are only going to smoke certain strands out of certain pipes or something. I don't know. It's going to be a thing.
So if it were legal, and in Pennsylvania it is to medically.
It's not. Not medically.
But if it were recreationally legal, would you do it? Would it be a consistent thing, or would you just like ignore it?
I guess I don't care. It's for the podcast. But one of my top 10 goals was to always smoke with my dad and listen to some of our favorite music together.
It's a good
but
goal.
He would never do it. But one day before he dies, I'd want to do it with him.
It's like my dad would like to listen to Boston.
Oh, Boston's cool. I would listen to a Boston song. I through the years, I constantly think of a playlist I would listen to with my dad if we did.
You need to get it ready. Dial it up.
Oh, dude, I have the playlist. It just changes every now and then because I'm like, I want him to know what one of his Led Zeppelin songs sounds like, and I always figure out which one I want to use. I don't want to take too much time on one song. I'm like, let's do Good Times, Bad Times. I'm like, too old school. We need a little more production value. I'm like, Four Sticks. I'm like, it's too obscure. I'm like, we're not doing Stairway or any of the stupid songs like that. I'm like, Lemon Song. My dad would appreciate the fudge out of that. Then I'm like, he likes Tool, but he's not a big like Tool head. I'm like 46 and 2. My dad, if he heard 46 and 2 like this, he'd have a. And then I'm like, let's go back to something old school. Then you got to go to something weird. My dad likes. I'm like, he likes Dave Matthews. I'm like, Dad, you got to hear Two Step Live in New York. Go for it, Central Park. He'd be like, I don't know. And I'd be like,
Dave Matthews, that concert I went to. There's people smoking weed in the stands. It's just like,
oh my god, dude!
Everywhere.
They hand it around there.
Yeah, it's such a loving vibe.
It out.
That's another thing is that the people who smoke weed have this vibe of like compassion and love.
There is. It's sharing.
Yeah,
it is different.
Yeah, I don't know any other drug that really makes you that personable.
50% of the time, drinking is like that.
But
like share
in the end,
hey, you can have my beer, you can have my liquor, you can have this. But the other 50% of the people are saying, I'm going to fight you for no reason.
Rage.
I will slash your tires for no reason.
Yes.
I will throw a glass bottle at your face, and I don't even know you. So, yeah. It's weird.
It is an interesting drug.
It is. And I don't know why it's a class 1.
Yeah, I don't even after trying CBD
Mhm.
from hemp derived sources, to
Of
clarify,
course. Clarify.
I felt like maybe like it feels like it could be a cure all, but I don't want to do it consistently. And also,
Sure.
I don't want the THC, the potential content, whether it is or is not in there, because I don't really know, to show up on a drug test if it ever comes up. Like, I don't want it to
So
affect my well-being.
what if drug tests were illegal?
So if you could no longer test for THC, I would probably do it every now and then. The bottle that I
They
got has like probably 200 drops in it. So
it's gonna take you like 3 years to get through
yeah,
it.
it would take at least years.
You don't double up drops, dude? Have you ever tried double drop?
I mean, it's not going to
Gateway
kill me.
drug. I'm just saying. The it's funny you said that. Double drop. Oh, what I think it's cool with is like if you stayed up late and played video games or something, or listened to music. It's a
Yeah.
very.
If I had
I
more
don't
free
treat it.
time.
Some people treat it like a social drug. I don't. From what I would guess.
I don't know. I do become
have a
less
friend.
talkative,
Yes.
but more
I have
enjoyable.
a friend who we both know who only tried it like 3 times, right? And when he did it, he came down the steps and he felt funny. He was high. Oh my God, are you okay? And he came down the steps and all his friends were there. He was just hanging with everybody, doing his normal thing. And the thing that occurred to him is that he wasn't funny. And he couldn't tell a good joke. And it really bothered him. And he was like, and he doesn't do it anymore. And I was like, why? And he's like, I couldn't tell my funny joke.
Is he
And I
snarky?
was like,
Are his jokes snarky? Do they require a bitterness?
no. This person is a big Star Wars fan. Loves the
Uh,
But he tried it like once or twice, and he couldn't be funny, and that was his big sticking point. And he was like, he was over it. And I realized in my head, like, yeah, you're not as funny, probably. You're not as sharp.
yeah.
You're in your own head looking at a million things, doing a million things.
I think what I hinted at was the dependencies. Like, I wouldn't want to become dependent on anything because I feel like
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have
my
it for me.
my normal self is good and I don't need to improve it. Every now and
I like
then,
that.
maybe, but I don't want to be
Sure.
dependent on it.
Recreational.
Here and there, every now and then.
I like that. Now, what do you think of people who smoke every day?
That looks like it's a dependency and an addiction.
So it's not physical. So, like, is that them not
Mental
wanting to be
dependency.
them?
I think mental dependency
Yeah.
is more prevalent, actually.
Oh, totally. It's a thing.
It's like, it seems sad because there's probably, so this is like the self-righteous, like, you could have a better life if you didn't do this thing. Like, that could be anything that society deems like unnatural. So like, if you didn't take these oils or smoke weed, like, you could be a more productive citizen or something. Like, I don't really
It's possible.
care that people are not productive. It might bite us in the ass as a country in the future, but as long as you're not harming anybody, so I don't see an issue with it. Like, it's sad that you might not be the best person you could be, or maybe you don't get to a point where I've seen friends that don't get a strong job. They don't move away. They don't try to further themselves. They don't try to educate themselves further. They don't try to start a family. Eventually, they're going to look back and say, I could have done better with my life. And maybe that's the part that is depressing, if they ever stop taking it. Or
Possibly.
have that realization.
I will say something I've learned from this exact podcast is that all life is meaningless. I don't care what you do with your time. I don't care if you start a great family and have a super big, successful life. It's all shit in the end, I guess.
So you're a nihilist.
A happy one.
An optimistic
a very positive nihilist.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that I'm the nihilist but I'm the optimist too?
What am I?
You're the pessimist. Remember when you always say, no, I'm the realist? You say it every time.
I guess that is true.
So I'm the optimist, but also the nihilist who sees the shit in life. And you're like, no, I'm just a realist.
Yes. So I guess
we need to smoke weed together. That's what you're saying.
Do a little oil in a state where it's legal, like Nevada,
weed.
Las Vegas.
Smoke of that ganja, folks. We're gonna get chronic. We're gonna get so dopey dope. Oh, that sticky icky. Why did you do that for your bot in Clash of Clans?
What? Oh, 420?
Yeah.
Because what was that song? There's a song.
Oh, is there? And are those the exact lyrics? See, I didn't know.
Yeah, I think so. It's weird because I like those types of songs. Yeah.
Interesting.
I surprisingly
learned a lot about everything here.
Yeah.
What did we learn about? Legality.
Yeah.
Medical legality. Totally different things. Don't get them confused, folks.
Yeah. 33 states, 10 states.
Hold on.
Illinois. I think Illinois just became the 11th state, actually.
Illinois is on the list. Ooh.
Yep. Cannabidol.
You didn't say it right either. You said dial.
Doyle. It's DIOL. Cannabidol.
Cannabidol.
I
bet dare you to say the other one.
Tetracarbon, whatever. I don't know what it is. Hydro tetra. THC. No. What else did we learn? The different names of weed. Can't pronounce them. Can't say them. Purple haze.
I feel like we missed some good ones, like Misty Mountain High or something. I don't know.
That sounds like one.
Could be.
Our song. National legalization. Talk about the billions of dollars that the government is missing on taxing
and wasting on arresting people who do. That's a double whammy.
Oh, absolution.
Nancy Reagan, suck my
war on drugs.
The war on drugs. Maybe a little misguided. Maybe anti-black against African Americans. They're way more likely to be arrested for the same crime.
Opioid epidemic.
I'm just you're gonna stop me, but just saying.
Yeah.
It's anti-African American.
No, it's like a large percentage of the population in prison are African American.
Yeah, for marijuana
crimes that are minor. Yeah.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, there are like all these memes or like jokes where like a white person's like, "I'm just trying to start a marijuana company," and it's like, there's a lot of African Americans in jail because of this, but we're gonna do a special on you for trying to start up your own mom and pop weed shop. I think that's called cultural appropriation, sir. I'm not gonna go there.
Repatriation, reparations.
Maybe. We talked about
the key words are lacking.
Alzheimer's, appetite loss, cancer, Crohn's disease, eating disorders, epilepsy, glaucoma, mental health, namely schizophrenia and PTSD, multiple sclerosis, muscle spasms, nausea, and pain.
Arthritis, digestion, anxiety, stress, sleep.
That's under eating disorders. That's under. Oh, I didn't get stress. Good.
Terpenes. They didn't talk about terpenes.
What's terpenes?
It's a group of volatile, unsaturated hydrocarbons found in essential oils of plants.
Oh shit! Oh damn! We got a good one there.
They say that about weed too. Marijuana has terpenes in it that are like the omega-3s and stuff of the plant world. Exciting. Yeah, it's gonna be the next wave.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
I think I have really old tar.
Tar?
In my garage.
Psychoreactive tar?
No, it's like it's derived from the marijuana plant.
Class 1?
It's like the sticky high THC content stuff.
Really?
You can you're supposed to like smoke it in a weird way. I can smoke it right here on the podcast. Let's do it.
That's a terrible idea. That can't be legal.
No, it's too late in the day. Sorry, folks. I don't have it. Never heard of it.
Yep. Class 1 drugs. Opioids.
One friggin' drug. Do you know if they figured out a way to DUI test for THC yet?
They can. I don't know about
If they draw your blood,
which you're not supposed to allow them to do.
you're supposed to tell them to not do it.
Yeah,
until
let
you
me
get
see
back
my
to the
lawyer.
station and hope to God. Yeah.
Yeah. And but they can't test for CBD. And you can't die of CBD or THC, supposedly. Don't take our word on that, but double check. And
My son watched the Pandas and just took all the THC we
God.
owned and he died.
I can't imagine just the whole bottle. Holy
He
garbage.
died. Sue those bastards.
I think the oil is where it is. I mean, if you're gonna make anything with, like, you could have like a jug of it. Like, it'd be vegetable oil. You could replace vegetable oil with it.
Oh my God! Drink a whole gallon of THC. Oh my God. Anyway, we have a lot
Bathe
of
in
fans
it.
out there. If you want to make a fan video, film yourself drinking 2 gallons of CBD oil.
Oh,
Just do it and send it to us. You will be fine, and we will laugh so much. Don't. We're joking. We'll have the record show. Trademark. The Unpanners. Serious. Joke. The joke being don't do it. So we covered everything. We talked about Canada. We talked about the crime rate, how it's gone down. Colorado, the crime rate has gone down. The pizza order has gone up.
Munchies.
And for the record, me and Dan might actually try marijuana for the first time when it becomes legal in our state. So
That sounds fantastic.
if you think we did it, judging by our converse, we didn't. We're waiting till it becomes legal.
What was
So
the
it could be cool.
like, we need to get that Indian munchie food, that like hot tomato.
Oh my God, that one was good.
Yeah, that was so good.
Burned my butthole the next day.
Yes,
It did.
it was really good though.
I'll have to watch that episode. Everyone at home, watch the
International
episode where
Food Box.
international food. We tried all these different foods.
Hmm.
Our buttholes burned so good the next day.
Too much sugar.
Probably, but it was.
That could have been why the
Mostly
Indian
bad stuff,
spicy
but-
tomatoes were so good.
Yeah, but no, that was like the third thing on the list, dude. I think we kept munching on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Folks, we like you. We like you a lot. Thanks for tuning in. If you need any hints, any help, any advice, if you've ever tried what's it called? Marijuana? The drug?
Marijuana.
Put something down in the comments. Let us know. Seriously, we've yet to try it, so we're thinking of it one day when it's legal. We'd like to hear your advice. We'd like to hear your input. We'd like to hear what you say. We'd like to have your money. You put it in our Patreon. Just stick it right there. Boom. You're good. Thanks for tuning in. Seriously, I think we covered everything.
Thanks.
We like you, folks. We like you
A lot. Good night.